Welcome to the meeting point. My name is Michael Ikogo. Local government in Nigeria was established by law in 1976 with the sole purpose to serve as local authority with constitutional powers to work independently of any external influence, be it the state or the federal government. Some of the functions of the local government includes maintenance of law and order, provision of motor parks and markets, collection of rates, fees and rents, construction of feeder roads and drainages, provision of recreational facilities, provision of health facilities, provision of social amenities, amongst others. However, as lofty as these core functions may be, they still have a long way to go towards satisfactory performance of their functions in many areas. This brings us to the topic for today's discussion, a look at performance of local government administration in Nigeria. I have in the studio two gentlemen. By my immediate left is Comrade Abel Johngold of Federal Ministry of Information here in Asaba. Johngold, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good evening, viewers.
We also have in the studio Ambassador Lion Moses Ebahor. Moses, you're welcome.
Good evening.
So, Johngold, let me start with you. How will you describe the local government system in Nigeria?
Well, just like you rightly said, that local government system in Nigeria came to be in the year 1976, and you have already listed their functions. But the problem we're talking about today is those functions you listed, that you enumerated there, are they still carrying out those functions? Are they still serving those functions that they're supposed to serve? To me, I would say no. That the local government today are just there to abuse the executive governors that appointed them. Yes, the functions they were set up for, they were doing it in those days. But I will tell you that since the inception of this democracy, or let's say from 1999, no, from 2003 up after the first set of those, the first set that were elected through the Independent Electoral Commission, after that particular set, I will tell you that the local government executives or administrators since that time till now are just there to abuse the governor that appointed them. You know what I said? They're just there to abuse the governor.
Appointed or elected?
Elected in quotes, to me is unappointed. They are all appointed because whereby the governor will just select them, they will say they should go for election, another party will not win. Now let me tell you why I say appointed. Before around 1999, you know there was an election which INEC conducted. There's a man called Reverend Fuma Akpere in this Delta state. He was the then chairman of Okpe local government. The man was at loggerhead with the state governor, then James Ibori, over issues of development. How many of the local government chairmen today can stand tall, can dare the governor today? In Nigeria today, when Ayafayoshe was governor of Ekiti State, he was during the presidency, having issues one thing or the other. We stand against the president. No, I cannot take this. Bola Ahmed Tinubu started it in Lagos State. Today now people praising Wike, you heard of Wike because he has been standing tall with the president, telling them what is right. The issue of VAT was introduced, Wike stopped it. How many local government chairmen can dare that with the governor today? That is why I said they were appointed by the governor. Forget all those elections that are conducted, all those local government elections they are conducting. I'm telling you that even when they win, I will tell you there was one particular election that I monitored in one of the national local government. The former speaker of this state, his own place, we were there after the counting of the vote. We know the party that won, and the man told us that local, unusual, now they here now. Tomorrow, now go hear that person, and they go announce. So we thought it was a joke. Really, when the INEC, it was laughing with us the next day when we were announcing somebody. But the ones INEC conducted, you cannot do that. If that power exists, you will not hear PDP winning in Osun State, a stronghold of APC. So until we get that, that is where you cannot say we have local government. Today now, the local government chairmen we have today are just there to abuse the governor. I say abuse the governor in the sense that because they cannot talk to him. They cannot do anything. So whatever the governor say, or God say, Ogasi, they do. So we don't have local government administrator today.
In Nigeria?
In Nigeria today.
Okay. So, Moses, do you agree with Johngold that the local governments are just like a rubber stamp?
Yes, for some points that you have made, I believe that the local government administration should be more of a grassroots oriented, because you can't impose people from outside to become a local government chairman. Local government chairman is supposed to be somebody within the community that the community have seen is kind of leadership and they voted in. And if he's being voted in as a chairman of that local government, because it's coming from the people, he will want to serve. But what we are seeing today is opposite of what the local government stands for. Because the local government, apart from the autonomy that I've given to them recently by the court, we have seen that the local government have not been living up to expectation because they are financially downgraded. A man that does not have money, how will you do road? A man that does not have money, how will you do social amenities for his people? During the olden days, local government administration was given the priority because they can run the government by themselves. They don't believe in they don't believe in the state government or the federal government because they have their fund directly to them. But when the military came, all those local government was abolished. And from the military time till now, it's just recently the local government has been given fund to work with. And like you said, all the elections we have been seeing is being appointed by the governor. It's not the people that voted the local government. So why do you want them to work? Because they are not being elected by the people in that local government. Like what we are talking for the issue for community police. If Nigerians see the security, it will be difficult for outsiders to come and steal in a community. It will be very difficult. It doesn't fall also to the local government chairman. You can't impose somebody that the community do not know as their chairman, and you want the person to be working effectively. It will be difficult. So if Nigeria want to have a good local government administration, we must go back to the basis, which is the local government in the grassroots. Let the people elect who they want to become the chairman in their different local government. And let us see if that local government chairman will not work. Because he knows that it's the people that voted him in office. And he will want to put a legacy.
Okay. Well, there was a time the people were agitating for autonomy of the local government, and the local government under the umbrella of Agon could not stand to say yes, we want our independent. But recently you are talking about that they have given them autonomy. How autonomous are they, even when the federal government and the local, like you reported, that have given them the privilege to operate on their own? Because what President Muhammadu Buhari said that time was that any local government that is not getting this account directly from the Federal Allocation Commission should, not be allowed to function. Or any governor that is still have a state local government joint account. How effective do you think this autonomy has taken effect, Moses?
Yes, I still believe that, like I said, we will have to go back to the basics. If Nigerians want to live and get the best of the best, we must pick leaders within our community. The leaders should not be imported into any government. If that one is being eradicated, I know the next government will want to put legacy. Because somebody that come out from the community and he say he want to be a local government chairman, he knows that he must give back to that society because his name is better than the wealth he want to acquire. What we are seeing over the years is that these people, they don't value if they have a legacy to keep because they were imported to become the chairman of that local government. But with the autonomy now they have given them, and the elections is being given them as a free and fair elections, any local government chairman or any political party can win a local government election if Nigeria want to go back to where Nigeria is. Until we go back, a Labour Party, an APC man, a PDP man, a grassroots-oriented local government chairman, if the people want him, and we know the election is fair and fair, if he become the chairman of that local government, the local government will move forward. Because the federal government and the state government, most of the activities they are doing is uncalled for. They don't need it. Like what we are saying about road maintenance and all these things, healthcare, permanent healthcare. Why did they say permanent healthcare? Is it not because of the local government? What concerns federal government and state government with permanent healthcare? Because we do not have the government that want to serve the people. If the governor wants this state to move forward, it should allow the people to choose who they want to become their local government chairman. His job will be more easier than him appointing people that will not even work.
But I still want to disagree with you. In all the local governments across the country, I think 400 is it 447? 774. Sorry, that we have in the country. Election is conducted at different times, and at the end of the day, what we are saying is that the political party that is in charge of the state eventually we have all the local governments.
That's by selection, because you know why? The elections are not being conducted by INEC. Are you getting me? So it is the state government that conducts the election. They will say state independent electoral commission, but they are not independent. It is who the governor wants that will be elected. Even when people go out to elect on that person, the person cannot be there. For example, now let me tell you. Okay, we'll talk about Fuma that time. There's a woman. She was the first woman local government chairman in this country. She was elected in Dasi Okpe. Lizzie Obukene, Chief Mrs. Lizzie Obukene. That woman was elected on the platform of NRC. Then Delta State was being ruled by PDP. I tell you, that woman, the road that woman tarred in Okpe from hospital road to that Delta hotel to the legislation quarter is still the best road you have in Okpe local government till date. Go and find out, go and verify. Let me use the word of Peter Obi. That road is still the best road. And the first female local government chairman in this country, the first female local government chairman, Chief Mrs. Lizzie Obukeme. Now I'm talking about that Fuma that fought with our then governor there. Fuma done well. He said he cannot provide pump by water in everywhere actually. Are you getting, because he has limited resources? But this woman done well in all not even word though, not political word. All villages, they're now moving from pole to pole. Are you getting me? Be digging where maybe like 3 poles. We dig with people. We have access to water. If the pipe water is not running as at that time. Now tell me, what can any of all these present local chairman showcase? Look at Adinija Dele when he was chairman of Lagos State. You can testify what he did when he was chairman of Lagos Island. Prince Adinija Dele. That time we have chairman. Even look at Lucky Benedion when he was chairman of Oyo Edo local government, 1987, that non-party time before the NRC time. His record was what made him governor of Edo State. But when he became governor, I won't say he failed. I'm not there. But you know that this when they did something well for us. But now, because the governor is appointing you, you just go election whether they vote for you, they not vote for you, and the next you'll be sworn in. You are not talking about how can they be dependent that the federal government just give them autonomy or the court have granted autonomy. Yes, there's autonomy in paper, but not in practice, because you are the governor. You make me chairman of my local government, Ethiopia East local government. When I receive the allocation, yes, I return it back to you through the back door. I will tell you. Have you forgotten that even some of the governors will ever damage the president, chairman, will ever damage the president, that what concerns the president with their money? That the government will give you the money, and they will not give you the money. So when I collect the money, I give it back to the man who put me there. Some of all those chairmen are just like commissioners. They are holding those positions for the governor. So until INEC begin to conduct their own election, that is when they believe that the people will elect them, not the government that appointed them. They will not be answerable to those people. That is the only way. It is only when INEC conduct election for them, that is when my vote will count. When your vote begin to count, that is when they can perform, so that they will use that performance to get back to office again or to mark their name. But if it is by the governor's appointment, there's no way you will expect any performance from this local government chairman.
Okay, Johngold, you made mention of the first female local government chairman that mentioned
Lizzie Obukene,
that she constructed road. Moses, why is it difficult for the present crop of local government chairmen to embark on meaningful projects that will impact on the communities?
Like we have said, some of these local government chairmen.
Please a minute, don't forget, she was in opposition that time. NRC, not the governor's title. The governor was in SDP, Social Democratic Party. Yeah. Why she was elected under the platform of National Republican Convention that time? Sorry for cutting you.
Some of these local governments that we have now, some of them are not grassroots elect politicians. That's why we are having this problem. Because even if the government or the governor appoints you as a local government chairman, you know you are going to stay there for either 2 to 3 years.
3 years.
You're supposed to put a legacy for yourself and your family, because it's what you have done in government or in office that people will remember you for. Some of them have the fund and they don't have the goodwill, they don't have the capacity. Some of them, they don't even know they don't know their left from their right, because the governor have appointed them because they are if you look at the local government, most of them are taught. They are all hooligans. Even if they don't, some of them even go to school, they become the government chairman.
I don't think.
No, it's true.
No, it's right.
It's true.
How many of them
We're looking at Nigeria.
No, I'm just in Delta State.
Even all over. Is it in the north? Is it even worse in the north?
These people, they are just
How
selected.
many of the local government in the north go to office? You don't see them in the office. It's only when the allocation comes and towards the end of the month that's where you see local. Even in Delta State here, some of these local governments is when money is coming. That's where you see them coming to the office. And because we do not want the Nigerian local government to move forward, if the policies and the activities of government and the people want to make a change, we must go back to the basis. If you go to the Western world, the mayor of that community is like the governor of that state.
That is
you don't need anybody who talks to the governor in US. It's the mayor. Like that, we are in Asaba now. We don't have any business with the government house. Our business is with the local government chairman. And because we are not the one that voted him, how can we go and ask him?
At all. We'll be shouting
So
Buhari.
until the government put a policy, grassroots oriented personality and people that can vouch the change the situation of government, that's when we can see the local government moving forward. Okay. First, the constitution of Nigeria needs to be changed. They should allow the local government chairman to be people from the local government areas.
That is what it's supposed to be. Why? That is why they call it the grassroots oriented. But the people you are talking about are from the local government that they are overseeing. Some have also said that godfatherism has also made them not to function.
God bless you.
Because the set of persons that will now come together to say this is the man anointed for this in some local government, you see that they don't even their primaries, they don't conduct it. Before the primaries, they have just concluded that this is the person that is going. He has been loyal to this party for years. Let's allow him to go, whether he's going to deliver or not. How do you see the role of the godfathers in this?
That is why we say some of these local governments, they are not leaders in their own right. If, for example, a governor gave me an appointment now, or I'm being elected as a local government chairman, and I have up to 100 million in a month, and I really know what to do as a local government chairman, I will know the needs of the people. The local government should know the needs of the people, not in telling the people his own needs. If they appoint me today as a local government chairman, I will call the local government.
Appoint you or vote you.
Today is appointment we are seeing now.
Stop deceiving yourself.
It's appointment we are seeing now. Even if they appoint you, even they elect you, if you don't know how to serve the people, that local government will still go back and being looted, all the funds being looted. Because a man that wants to make a mark must remove himself from fraudulent acts. He must not be thinking about himself. He must be thinking about his people that he's serving. And that is why we are not having good and quality leadership in the local government. So me, for my own view, I want, if governments in all levels, from the federal government to the state, they should allow the people choose who they want in the local government affairs. And that is where we can move forward.
Okay. Before this, the advent of this present democracy, we used to have what they call a public works department at the local government level.
Yes.
Where the local government, owns its own tractor that they used to grade roads.
God bless
during dry season. I think we have them in those days coming to our villages to really help grade our roads. And you agree with me that even when those roads were not tarred, because they were grading them every year.
Yeah.
The roads were lasting.
Sometimes twice a year.
Sometimes twice a year.
Yeah.
But now,
The
most of these local governments don't have even wheelbarrow, let alone tractor that will go and grade roads. The PWD, that's the Public Works Department, we also have some laborers that they engage, that clear the roadside.
Which also create jobs.
Yes, and really remove stagnant waters on the roads.
Road shadows, even clearing the road shadows.
Yes. So, but now we don't have such. If we part of our advancement, we should have a better option than what we used to have then. If we can't have those, we call them laborers that are clearing the roadsides, we don't have them now. Then there should be an alternative to it. Why is it that the local government now cannot boast of one tractor in the local government that will help grade the roads in that area?
The instrument of the state is what is killing the local government. So far, the instrument of the state do not want the local government to function. They cannot function. Now, tell me a local government that can even employ one teacher, one staff today. They cannot. Don't forget, you said it earlier. This local government chairman, they are people's lot. Hey, you this leader, bring chairman for your local government. You this leader, bring the vice. You this leader, bring secretary. You bring councillor for your place. This is how they assemble all these people. You just go to an election. Are you getting me? The ruling party will just. I gave it to verify that opposition even wants for local government. It means you have the free hand. That is the only area that we can have these people to work. Because if, for example, now we are in DBS, we have union here. If the union elected, the chairman of the DBS is elected, the person want to serve us because he will believe that if he did not perform, that he will not come back again. But when you know that he has a godfather, one GM or one commissioner or one board chairman that will just say, this is my man, and he will be there, it will be answerable to the GM. What concerns you or that commissioner? It won't have anything to do with you, because all the service, because when the money allocation comes, you take this money back to these same people. They will give you, take your salary is this, your work, the teachers, primary school that you are going to pay, this is their salary. Are you getting me? This one is enough for you to buy fuel and go. He can't say anything. Where will he get money to do all those work you're talking about? No cover for them again. They are just there suffering and smiling, bearing the name Shema. Those Shema cannot even dash you 20,000 naira. God forbid somebody needs challenge of 30,000 naira. You will hardly see a local government that can even give you that amount of money. I'm telling you, even the oil-rich local government we have in this country, they cannot, because everything they are taking that comes to the local government goes back to the instrument that make them chairman. Those political party leaders that selected them, those are the people that they are answerable to, not the people that have voted for them. That is the situation we find ourselves in this country. So I still believe that the autonomy is not working. It's just autonomy in paper, not.
But there's this claim by the local government chairman that the allocation being given to them is not enough to run the council. That is the reason why they cannot embark on capital projects.
They should generate.
What is your take on that?
That I said, if we have a quality leadership from the local government, the Nigerian economy and Nigeria as a country, our problem will be solved. You don't depend on only the money that is allocated to you. You also find means of generating funds as a local government chairman, because even the federal government and the state, they also look for money to do some of their capital projects. That's why I say we need quality chairmen to be in the office, so that even if the money is not coming from the federal allocation, they can also think out of the box. Because why are you the chairman? It's to solve solution. It will be a solution solver as a local government chairman. Not just sit down, you call you chairman. You must think with your brain. You must have people that are professionals that can help you to move the local government to the next level. And that is why we are not having, because a local government chairman that is being, like I told you, some of them are not leaders. They are being unpicked. Somebody that did not even expect to be a local government chairman, he did not even vow to become a local government chairman. What do you want to expect from that type of person? The person will just be there for 3 years, like a Dundee or a mover, doing nothing. But a youth or a young person that believes that he can be a local government chairman, he wants to change. Because local government activities are even the social amenities that are also close to the people. Like I said, primary health. I know when we are growing up, when we are young, we normally have in sports, we start from the primary school to the secondary school. before we go to the state. Those things are not more there. But even as of that time, there was no fund. We are even doing it with passions. They were not even giving us money. It's only trophy they were giving us. If you are a very good sprinter in your primary school or secondary school, they will just give you cup.
For time they will give you exercise book.
Or they give exercise book.
And that is how we are bonding.
And we are even happy with it because we say, okay, we are the winner. We took bet and they gave us exercise book. We are happy. But now they are even giving them fund.
And that is where we are bonding then. Because then after this, we were talking then. If you are in Michael Ikogu primary school, you will know the people that are playing football for Moses school. Yes. You know the people that are playing for DBS school. You know the people that are running for Pointer school. We know ourselves like that. We know the best. We know those that are even in quiz competition. But now, do you know anybody in any other school? They don't. The local government are in charge of those primary health cares. Those primary schools, they can generate funds, but now there's nothing, they cannot do anything, they are just handicapped.
The local government is responsible for the management of motor parks.
Yes.
Markets. In charge of markets.
Yes.
And they generate revenue. What are they doing with their internally generated revenue?
This revenue still go back to the person that appointed them. I'm telling you the truth. Near that they will confess to you. It's just that because they are general, they won't want to tell you. They will be afraid. Except the state government, you give them free autonomy. Complete autonomy whereby the state will free. They have to demarcate that look, just the way the state government are doing with the federal government, that the local government can take the state to court. That look, this is your boundary. I'm in charge of DBS, is my local government. Anything within the DBS first, the revenue comes to me. Anybody that is selling market here, it comes to me. If there is a hotel inside DBS, the hotel can be paid to the state government. But we have to share it that look, you are an NJ chairman. NJ will pay dues. The due will pay from go to the state national level, state council, and the chapel level. The same thing with this
then zone.
Thank you. Then zone. The same thing with the allocation of the local government, the revenue. The federal government collects our own, the state government collects, and the local government chairman collects its own. But now this local government chairman, because they know how they came to that place. Are you getting me? They don't have a say. The only thing they get is their salary. So we cannot even buy fuel in their own offices. I'm telling you this, you might not believe me. There was this chairman, Matthew Edema, they call him man of God, pastor. He was chairman of Warisat, a very rich local government. The time we go to that place when he was chairman there, nothing. The man will just be crying, no money, people should manage with me. We beg it there. For time they close, you see man of God using his own private personal vehicle to go and drop some people for private work. Because no money, no kobo. Matthew Edema, man of
so which means the local government administrators are not creative enough to generate funds within their local government. The little they are generating, how are they spending it? Are they accounting for it? What projects are they using them to do? Or are they using it to service the boys that help them to really deliver on the election?
For that, it will be difficult for us to get the accountability of all these local government chairmen, because to me, even from the legislative arm of their own of government, which are the councillors, I don't think they too have that type of power to also challenge their local government.
I want to even ask him a question. Just look at this very state very well. Have you seen a former local government chairman that is living in affluence now, maybe just a year after leaving office, or when he was a local government chairman? Take a look at Utadibe that just left here now. You have a local government chairman very close to your press center there. Are you seeing the local government chairman? When the Migbura were chairman of Sapien local government, because they were elected under INEC, when they are coming, you say chairman is coming, we all stood up. Then
maybe the economy was buoyant then.
No, because they were in charge.
The question we are asking.
It's because they were in charge that time.
Don't forget, we are looking at local government administration in Nigeria generally, not only in Delta State.
No, because I'm in Delta. No, because I'm in Delta.
Because you know them.
I know these people. Are you getting me? When I talk about Ademola Adenija Dele and Puta, many people don't know Ademola Adenija Dele. Even the Lizzie Obukeme that I see revered today as one of the best local government chairman I've seen in this country. Many people don't know Lizzie. Lizzie was former chairman of Okwe local government. Even Fumia, before he died, Reverend Fuma Agbere. Many people do not know that. So I'm talking about the people that are present now. You will see many of them, they are trekking about. Even this my Kabu Kabu vehicle is even better than the former Sheme vehicle because they are not in charge. Even though they are salary, you find out that some of them are even sharing that salary with the Godfather that brought them.
Okay, well, if this is the challenge that the Godfathers are responsible, why can't the chairman cry out that, oh, we have been heard on the news by our Godfathers?
Cry out and you will start life for life. And you will start life for life. The only way you can survive them, just let them return that full authority. Let them make it that their election will not be conducted by INEC. That me and your vote will not begin to count. It is no longer elected by appointments again. That is the only way. You see, even the Godfather that they will not tell the Godfather go away because your vote alone cannot make me chairman. The people are answerable to the people. And we need to tie their roads. I need to do what is right. Are you getting me? Primary schools I need to go to work. Primary school roof need to be rehabilitated. Are you getting me? It need to be renovated. People will have to go to school, sit in a comfortable class so that they will count this one for me. Lizzie, I don't know where Lizzie is today, but that road is the best road in that local government tomorrow. Fuman is dead, but those wells, some people have access to those wells. They are using them tomorrow. What cannot these people count that this was what they did? Environmental, they said they cannot even sponsor sanitation in their local government. Many of these local governments, I'm telling you the truth. All they do is just hunt the people. And when the revenue comes, you need to settle the boys that the Godfather used in making them chairman of local government. That is what is happening in this country today. All over the country.
Okay, some at a time were also, agitating that local government should be abolished since they are not functioning. Then another school of thought said, no, if the local governments function effectively, there won't be need for state. There won't even be need for federal government because all the roads that federal government is tying cut across local governments, and all the projects that the state government is also doing cut across the various local governments. It. Should we abolish local government or allow full autonomy to take its course so that we can see development at the grassroots? Moses?
Yes, to me, I believe they should give the local government full autonomy. They should give them the full autonomy and also to put a policy because everything we are saying is about the policy. If it's not a policy project in the federal government, it will be difficult. Let us see the local government as the mirror of social development in the grassroots so that the work of the state government and federal government will be minimized. Everything that have to do with government is on the rural areas, it's on the grassroots areas. Is it rural electrification we are talking about? Is it primary health? Is it social amenities? All those things are embedded in the local government. So we should give the local government chairman full autonomy and also ensure that the local government chairman, because even if you give the local government full autonomy and the person that is the chairman do not have that capacity, we are still going back again. Because you can't give a fool millions of money. You will just go and start marrying women and buying cars. So we need professionals. We need people of quality personality that have good leadership. So that even if they are in that office, with a little money they have, they can make a mark for themselves and also for the society. Okay.
I think we have to open up the line for contribution from our viewer. The number to call is 0812-106-9621. The number again is 0812-106-9621. The second number is 0807-843-4277. You can call to make your contribution, your suggestion, possibly advise the local governments and those who are still holding them at the jugular on the way to go to have effective administration at the local government level. Sorry. So, Johngold, we have said a lot. Do you blame our leadership selection process for the woes we have seen at the local government level?
Yes, I blame the leadership selection process because those are the people that have refused to allow the local government to work. So until we give local government full working autonomy, not just autonomy by name, working autonomy, then if I'm elected chairman, I will know that I'm accountable to the people, not the person that influenced me to become chairman. Because they will be using everything to be servicing that person. That's why we even come out, you see, I go poorer than the way they were before they became local government chairman. And nothing to write home about that you can use to say, when this man was there, look at what he did, Nothing. You cannot pinpoint anything to the past local government is for the past 10 years now that this is what this man did or that. Nothing like in the past because they are not functioning. No autonomy. The autonomy that is just granted there is autonomy by name. So I have to appeal to state governors in Nigeria. You want freedom. Stop allowing us, everybody is shouting Buhari. Meanwhile, we have local government here. We have the government here. What concerns me and Governor Okowa and Buhari when I have a local government chairman and a councillor? Like you rightly said, if the roads in my area, the local government should let the local government take charge of their road. State government do your road. Federal government do your own. Let the allocation go to who is supposed to go to. Let it go to the right direction. Let the instrument of state stop oppressing the local government. That is the only way that this local government can move forward. Otherwise, they will just be there. We will just be abusing them. They too will be abusing the governors. I'm telling you the truth.
Secretly, they will abuse the governors secretly.
They are abusing every day. That they cause them. They won't tell you. So governor is evil. Is this? But when they your excellency, sir. That's what they do. The same way when you reach where they you want to tease them for them to give you 10 naira for their small earnings. The same way they too are also abusing the governors. I'm telling you the truth. Were you not there when the Wike was taking the governor of the federal government to cut over the VAT sharing formula? Do you not see Tinubu? When Tinubu acquisition was stopped, did he not generate funds to take off his local government? How many of those local government can do that? They cannot. Until the states lose their hand from the local government, let free them. That is the only way we can have a working, functioning local government. Otherwise, local governments, they will just be there as an appointee.
Yeah. You made mention of the councillors who are supposed to act as check and balance and also come up with ideas that would help improve the revenue generation of the council. Why is it difficult for the councillors to speak?
It's still the decadence of the local government administration. Because if the chairman is being unpicked or being appointed by the governor, the councillors too also follow suit. Because the councillors are also closer to the people in that environment. So to us is that if we want to move the local government forward, we should ensure that the kind of persons that we want are the people that are going to be in the aim of our affairs.
The councillors, have they lived up to their responsibility?
The same thing also falls to the councillors. Because before, when we are going up, for you to be a councillor, you must be somebody that you are a lovable person in that local government. Today, the person somebody from Lagos can come to Oshimili and become a councillor because he's being appointed. So until we go back to the drawing board, when we pick councillor within ourselves and somebody that we know we have, okay, for example, when we are going up, if they want to choose captain, they look for the brilliant or the person that is more brilliant in the class. Captain is being elected within the class.
Yes.
When we are going up, I hope you know what I'm saying. So it's the same thing for also to the councillors. We must pick the councillor within
the best among
ourselves. Somebody that is not intelligent. How can you go and be a councillor? That means we are not going anywhere. That's what we are saying.
You are even too far. How many of the law assemblies, state assembly, can even dare you are too far now. You're talking about councillors.
No,
we're talking about assembly.
We're talking about councillors because we're talking about local government administration.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Do you understand? So let's limit it to that. Because I know where you are going to. But to some of the members of House Assembly that we have across the country, some cannot even dare to challenge.
At all. Not all. They cannot. Don't dare it.
Of the executive.
The day the speaker tried, they remove him that day. The day the lawmaker that day, we just suspend him. What are you saying? Do you know how many times the president Olusegun Obasanjo remove speaker and senators?
Hello, your name and location, please.
My name is Shedi Agbagbara.
Okay, from where?
I'm a broadcaster from Benin, from Asaba.
Okay.
I'm civil servant. You see, there has been a not too young to rule law. It's a law that opened the gateway for the youth to participate in national politics. So we are having young men of about 40 as president and 25 or 30 as governor. But the system of local government is faulty. Because local government is where brilliant, politically savvy and energetic men actually should start politics. It's like saying you have opened universities, but you shut down primary and secondary schools. How do you get the Javites? What's happened all over the country? You can see it from the life of the new British Prime Minister, the Truss. She became a local government, a councillor at the age of 31 by winning an election. Then she proved herself in the party and got appointments, walked through the party. Then at the Labour election, he was voted the chairman of the Conservative Party. And by the British system, the chairman of the Conservative Party automatically becomes Prime Minister. But this is a lady who, throughout her life, was started in the local government and went up. And I quite agree with you, there's no local government, appointed local government, who has the capacity to win an election in his own local government area, left alone, nor even the enthusiasm or the commitment to remain in their parties and work the way up. And this is throughout Nigeria. I'm not talking about the Delta State alone.
Yeah.
It's as if all the governors, one after the other, all over Nigeria, have perfected the way of making sure they appoint local government local government people so that they can hold the state in their grip. And I think this is what's really undoing the emergence of youth at the federal level. Let me give you the metaphor again, or simile. You say people should go to university, but you close down secondary schools. How can they get there?
It's difficult.
And until the youth come out and resist this particular thing, all they are sharp of you to rule, not all you want to rule is nothing. Because they now emerge at the federal level to want to be president. How can you be president of a country when you have not learned how to govern? When people have not known you, when they have not proved yourself within the party, what chance have you as primaries? That is where old people like us, we keep who are known already through other endeavors, we keep trying, fighting to become governors and presidents. Because our system of the American type presidential system, you don't really have to go, you don't have to have the party, it's not what they are voting for. It's the individual. Because by that system, we elect the governor or the president as an elected king, known by everybody in his constituency, be it the state or be it the local government, or be it the national local government, to govern for 4 years. So how can people elect a young man whose teeth have never been caught because somebody is picking on entities to become local government? People are not known, people are hated in their own environment. I'm from Delta State. I come from Welisa local government area. My village is Ayaga in Jeremy.
Okay.
There's hardly anything you can point to that local government has done. It is we who provide the water, provide where you take care of your own health anyway. Schools, well, they are there. My village doesn't have a government approved secondary school today. And this is something that a local government chairman should fight for. But other people are fighting for it. Because local government they are usually non-entity. I'm sorry to use such strong language. Because it pains me that if at this age I were chosen the politics, yes, I will campaign and people know me. Therefore, I'm sure those of you that must have heard of me, they will vote for me. But it's wrong, I'm old. And my ideas may be updated actually. I'm not saying any candidate is old. I'm not interested in that politics like that. I'm interested in individuals dealing and what the constant thing. Yeah. Then they can go into politics. But these youth who are they allowed to become anything in Nigeria cannot be anything in Nigeria. And don't think of it as an old man who passed this law. Who was behind this law? So, my dear, what the youth should really fight for is to be on the path of the local government chairman all over Nigeria, who have been tied down, whose brilliance and energy is not being used where it matters most, where they can cut their teeth in politics. Yeah. And if you doubt me, look at Elizabeth Truss, 46th Prime Minister of one of the greatest countries in the world. Macron was like that. Trudeau was like that. The lady Prime Minister in South Africa, Australia, I'm calling her name, I was nursing a baby. White president, Prime Minister was like that. Unfortunately, other things took her because against you don't have to. President, young people are not necessarily very brilliant. I agree, not all. The people killing the world today, Putin and Zelensky, are not old people. That's a part. Those are exceptions that prove my rule. That you want young people to become president in Nigeria and governors, and people at local government. The local government people, none of the course is this. They are university, but no secondary school education, no primary education. Because that schools, those schools, the local government have been shut out of them. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for your contribution.
Fine contribution.
Well, he talked about not too young to rule. All the youth, I brought one of the campaigners here on this program to talk about why they are not involved. The energy they put in to agitate for that act to come to play is no longer there. Who among the youth is not lashing on the opportunity provided by that act to contest election? Some will blame it on the high cost of purchase of form. Okay, we lost that one. Okay, what is your take on that? All the youth that agitated for the not too young to rule, where are they?
The issue of that is that the youth, they have a misplaced priority. If we can put all our energy and ensure that this is what we want as a people in a local government, I believe the government will listen. I've never seen any youth going on a protest on why young people should be in as the local government chairman. I've never seen it all over the country. So we have seen the young people vying for president of a country. That's what the man just said now. You must start from the grassroots. You must be known within your people. You have never contested as a local government chairman. You have never contested as a governor. You say you want to be a president of a country. It's not possible. And that's why we are giving all these our old fathers to still be in power. Because supposing we have gone through the local government, from local government we are in the state. How many young persons are governors today in Nigeria? How many young persons? Almost all the people that are governors, they are from 50, 60. Hardly you see 30 years somebody.
Kogi State governor, how old is?
Oh,
40.
He's 46, but to me, he's part of the bourgeois. He might be young, but he's part of the bourgeois. Among the people that they use to siphon money. You understand? And that is why we are not even seeing them acting with that capacity. It's one thing for you to be a youth. It's one thing to have that capacity. Because you can't make somebody that is not intelligent to be a captain in a class. How can you say somebody that is taking 50, is took 30 in the class position and will not be the captain of that class? It's not done. Until we bring the brilliant people and we bring the intelligent people and put them in an aim of affair, that is where our local government and our state can move forward.
Then another thing I also want you to look at. I want you to understand that anything that is not genuine, that is not originality, will always fake, will always fear, will fade away. Now, sorry to digress. Have you ever heard of there was this group in APC called APC Christian Group before now? No. APC did primary election, presidential primary. We did not hear of APC Christian Group to support APC candidate Christian for presidency. Now, the representative candidate has the right to choose whoever he wanted. Now the person have choose a Muslim. Some group now comes out now that they are APC Christian group. Now agitated that why did he pick a Muslim group? Do you know the reason for that fight? Because they supported a Muslim thinking that as Christian they will be picked. Are you getting me? Now it did not go to them. That was the reason for that fight. These saw people you to call you that were agitated for not young to grow that time. There was somebody who was thinking that thought he should come to him. And was not sponsoring all these boys them. Now the thing, whether work or did not work, we don't know the person behind the scene. In the word of Abasha, if there is any riot, any protest that is beyond 24 hours, know that the government have a hand. Are you getting me? All those protests, government also have hand inside. Now they are no longer in that chapter again. That is why they faded away. It is natural. It will fade away like that. Because there is no originality there. Those people that can not, where are they today? How many of them buy from? We have 40-something years old in which party? SDP. Nobody is clamoring for him. No, we have many of them. But look at all the youth now. They are the people that are supporting people that are above 60s. If they are not for Tinubu, 70. They are for Atiku, 76, 77 years. Or they are for Peter Obi, 62. Not even someone that is 52 or be 50 years. And so you tell them will tell you that these guys were no original at the first instance. They are being sponsored by somebody. That game, well, they moved to another chapter now. That chapter has been closed. So you forget about that. You understand? He came naturally and he died naturally because it is fake. It was never original agitation. Fake, you see, sorry, let me not go there. Anything that is real, we continue to, even you cannot kill the dream. You talk about Russia then, you hear of today Afghanistan, all those Uzbekistan, Ukraine. Before they were one country, they were fighting for their country, and there was war, USSR, United States or the Soviet Union. But today they are on their own because they have good intention, good agitation there, not sponsored agitation, not the one with bad intention. Okay. So that not young to grow.
So the agitation by the youth to, bring to life the law too young to rule law. Was it orchestrated by the leaders?
Yes. Now for people who were thinking that this thing should come, I just give you a very good example of the APC now. We have APC candidates that contested that primary Christian. They did not support that Christian person to become APC presidential candidate. Yeah. They sponsored a Muslim, thinking that they will not pick them as running mates. No, the
so
man
when they didn't go down,
APC Christian.
They are now APC.
That is what you saw in that youth. Okay. Not young.
So, in moving forward, what are the ways you think we can make our local government vibrant? Moses.
To me, is a policy first. We have to go to the drawing board. Let us put a policy.
There are policies already there. They are all already there. Nigeria will have the best of policies, will have the best of laws. But if enforcement of those laws is what is our major challenge.
That's what you said.
You understand? So let's begin to look at how we can enforce such laws. If the local government is supposed to be autonomous and they have signed it into law that the autonomy of local governments, let's implement and enforce the autonomy. Sometimes I begin to ask this question. Why is it that when you are a governor of any state, you begin to work against certain steps taken to correct some anomalies? Then when you immediately leave office, you begin to see the need for that to come into existence. Why?
Self-interest.
Like what you have said now.
Selfishness.
For example, the present government we have now, APC, when they want to push out PDP in 2015, one of their manifesto was restructuring. And when they get to office, they push out the restructuring. And that is where Nigeria problem still lies. Until we agree as a people, we do the right thing. Nigerians have all the laws, have all the policy, but we are not doing the right thing. If you get to office, a government that know that this is white, when he comes to that office, you will say this is black. You cannot move a country like that. In America, all these big countries we are looking, even in Dubai we are looking at. Dubai, that place is a desert. And today everybody is running to Dubai. Because the people in Dubai, they sit down and they think ahead. A desert become what it is today. A war tourist place. Until Nigerians sit down and we're ready to take the bull by the horn, we are just going to be talking till tomorrow. And other countries, other nations will be leaving us. Today now, how many of them is talking about restructuring? Even in all the political parties. You talk about something you want to make a change for the country. Nigeria is still in the military decree. To me, we are not practicing democracy. We are practicing opposite of democracy. Democracy is by the people, for the people. But what we are seeing today, the people cannot even choose their own people. They cannot elect their own persons. Look at what's happening for the primaries. If you don't have millions, you cannot buy form. Who does that all over the world? To buy form 100 million? Are we moving forward with? So you mean that anybody can go and steal money and bought form and become somebody? So until we restructure Nigeria, we put Nigeria in the right perspective before we move forward.
Okay. No, Nigeria. We want to put Nigeria in the proper perspective. That may also affect the
local government and the state.
Yes. The autonomy needs to be implemented. A working autonomy. The state government, after governors, have to free the local government, just the way they have been free from the federal government.
But the local government, are they ready to be freed? When some of them are saying that they still get subvention from state government to support the
because
coming to them.
You know the reason now. I've told you they are singing the music of the governor, what the governor asked them to do. Except the only free way to free them is that when these people, their elections are conducted for them. Are you getting me? Not by state, they are independent. The way they conduct the state governor's own. Sir, if you, whether you like it or not, I will still give it to this government to some extent. You conduct an election in one state, in Osun State, and an opposition state won. You conduct an election in Edo State, opposition state won. The court gave judgment and said the APC one state in Zafara should be given to PDP. Also happened in a Bayelsa state. That will tell you that we are growing. Before, you can't even get that. Even when the people that did not, when you buy form for governor, the nation will give you a house of rep ticket. Without even buying for house of rep ticket, it happened in this country. You know, don't deceive yourself. Just remember, around 2007, 2011, it was happening in this country. Somebody will buy form for Senate, he will give you out of assembly. They will be giving governor or deputy governor. Somebody will buy form for governor or maybe a senator. Senate, they will give you house of rep. So far they give you a position. They say they are managing everybody. Now it's no longer so. When you buy this, you are here. The judiciary, even though they are still heavily biased, somehow will see small results. We will get there. It's just a matter of time. But I tell you that the only freedom the local government needs is just that election. If we get it right, our electoral system, if we get our electoral system right, once our votes start counting, everything will fall in place. I'm telling you the truth. Once everything, the local government will begin to dare the government, begin to ask for what belongs to them, what is supposed to come to them. Then that's when you will now see that local government will pay salary, build schools, build markets. They will have a think tank committee that will begin to research and tell them what to do, how to generate funds. Somebody did it in Lagos for years. And the person was employing every day, creating employment every day. Last month, different group, you cannot even count them. And the person succeeded. Somebody did it. Here in Delta State here, a woman did it, Lizzie. One of the roads she tied was even named after one of the first sons in this country, Chief TJ Boko, SAN. They named the road after that man. That road was tied by Chief Lizzie Obukene. You talk about water that time. I told you about Fuman, how he done well in all the polling units in his local government.
The two persons you mentioned now did not operate under a different law.
No, the same law because
the present crop of leaders.
Because they get elected, genuinely elected. Fuman was in APP. The state government there was being ruled by PDP. Lizzie was in NRC. The state government was being ruled by PDP, SDP. Are you getting me? You can see because they were able to be elected because they were genuine election. Are you getting me? So now they are now performing so that they will return, so that they will not fail.
Okay, genuine election that is devoid of handpicking.
Thank you.
Will spring up competition.
Yes.
And performance so that the person that come from opposition
can want to
win election again.
For her to come back.
This bad wagon effect where a particular ruling party will win all the seats at the local government level is not given opportunity for development for results
at all.
Okay.
Even as of that, the ruling party don't even allow other political parties to contest.
But if the people are
because
they do. But
most of the states.
So they don't get the results.
Most of the states, when the other political party know that the government or the electoral, the independent local
the state electorals
are not going to be free and fair in the election. They boycott most of all these elections. I monitor elections.
Yes, once they are partial,
most of the elections is
they are reaching results.
States that compete with the other political party in that state. With that process, how will you get the best?
At all.
If governor election is being run the way local government election is being done,
you will see performance in local government.
Come and see how people.
You will see councillors.
Good people will be coming.
You will know that we have intellectuals in this country.
Yes,
those local government you are calling Dodi, you will see how good they are. Because you know
that will spring up the best among
yes now because they will not be the one to select who we want.
Even from primaries, most of the local government chairmen, there are no primaries for them
at all.
When we are going with you, they do primaries before you become candidate of that local government chairman. But now today is selection and pick.
Okay, I think for want of time we may be winding up on this episode of the Meeting Point. Moses, your final word on how we can improve on our local government. You have said something about really allowing the policies to work. But the policies are there, I keep saying. The enforcement and implementation is what we lack. Finance is the major thing that the local government needs to execute projects. How, in your own perspective, do you think the local government can really improve on revenue generation from their locality to enhance their deliverables?
For me, the government, especially maybe the governors, they should allow the election to be fair and fair. They should allow every political party to participate in every local government elections. They should ensure that all political parties bring out their candidate and they go to the election and they do not interfere. We are moving forward from there. And two, the youth is their own duty to bring young people that will be in position as a local government chairman, as councillor. We cannot be seeing old people, 50-something years, 60 years, being a councillor, being a local government chairman. We don't need that. The local government affair is for the young people that are educated, that have capacity, that have shown quality leadership, trained in themselves. They will come out. And I believe when we have those type of people in local government, the local government will move forward.
Okay, Johngold, your final word.
Well, I'm not against the age of who holds a particular position at any age. What I'm against that, I'm just praying for is that states independent election commission should stop conducting election into local government positions. They should allow INEC to be conducting those elections. That is the only way, which will even help the state governors. I'm telling you that if INEC, because even the governor knows that the local government chairman in that particular government is not my boy. Are you getting me? It's not my own. He wants to perform so that we gain the people's
Trust.
Are you getting me? So that people will vote for him. But when you know that whoever is there will still write the same result for you, they will keep on doing the same thing. So until INEC start conducting election for local government, there will never be meaningful development for local government.
Okay, thank you very much. This is how far we'll go on this episode. I want to thank you, Ambassador Lion Moses Ebahor, for making it to this episode of the Meeting Point.
Thank you.
Comrade Abel Johngold, I also want to thank you. The local government administration is very, very critical to the development of this country. And if we allow the political system that throws up unprepared leaders to continue the way we have experienced in recent past, then the country will remain underdeveloped. By the time we are able to let leaders who have the interests of their people at the grassroots level, give them responsibility to really man offices at that both the councillorship level and the local government level, development will be witnessed at the grassroots level. That is the only way we also train leaders that will take the mantle of leadership as we progress as a country. I want to thank you for joining us on this episode of The Meeting Point. Join us same time tomorrow for another wonderful episode. My name is Michael Ikog.